Friends, welcome you back once again in geological knowledge. So as in the previous lecture we have discussed some very important and basic concept about the igneous petrology, and if in which we have talked about the basics of magma, lava, and the basic definition of rock. Okay, all these basic terms we have studied about or discussed about in the previous lecture or in the previous discussion, and in today's discussion we will move over to another very important topic related to petrology, igneous petrology, and that deals with the composition and texture of igneous rocks. So that is a very important topic for, or the fundamental topic for the BSc students or who are taking the JAM or BHUPET examination. Okay, so let's discuss it out one by one. The first question, the first and the very important question deals with the pick the option which doesn't determine the texture of igneous rocks. Okay, so this is a very basic question. Four options are there: color, size, shape of the mineral or the shape of the rock, or arrangement of the constituents with the body of the rock. Okay, so these four are the options. But before we discuss this question, we must understand the basic terminology, that is texture and structure. Okay, so what is a texture? So in simple terms, we can define texture, that means the size, shape, or the mutual arrangement of the mineral grains in a particular rock type. Okay, so how a particular minerals are located or arranged in a particular rock system, that is known as the texture of a rock. Okay, so texture, don't take it as a petrological term or a geological term, just take it as a general term, that whenever we talk about the texture of the wall, texture of the floor, or the texture of the table, or whatever we see, whatever objects we see, so texture means that is the shape, size, the arrangement of objects, arrangement of the designs. If we particularly talk about the shape of the texture of floor. Okay, so how the objects are arranged in a particular system, that is known as texture. Okay, and geologically if we talk about, so that is also the size, shape, or the mutual arrangement of mineral grains in a particular rock system, that is known as texture. And okay, the grain size of a particular rock, that depends on certain factors. Okay, that depends, and these factors are the rate of cooling of the magma, means what was the particular rate of the cooling of magma. And in general, this is a concept, or you can take it as a rule or the law, that is slower is the rate of cooling, the coarser is the grain of the rock. So that is a concept you can take. The slower the rate of cooling, the coarser is the grain size or the grain size of the rock. Okay, and in the study of the texture, there are four important points or the factors which are to be considered, and these factors being the grain or the size of the grains, the degree of the crystallization, the shape of the crystals, and the mutual relationship between the mineral grains. Okay, so this is how you can elaborate the texture and their properties. So now we come back to our question, that pick the option which doesn't determine the texture of the igneous rock. So now you can easily determine that factor, that is color is not that factor which will determine the texture of a particular rock. Okay, and the remaining options, size, shape, or the mutual arrangement of the constituents within the body of the rock, these three factors, they will definitely determine the texture of a particular igneous rock. Okay, and the same is given in the description box, as you can see. The term texture is defined as the mutual relationship of different mineralogical constituents in a rock, and it's determined by the size, shape, and the arrangement of these constituents within the body of the rock. Okay, so here the option A, that is the right option. Second question deals with the which of the following is not a factor explaining texture: wind condition, degree of crystallization, granularity, fabric. So four options are there, and you have to choose out which one doesn't explain the texture of the rock. So you can easily pinpoint that is the wind condition, that has nothing to do with the texture. Okay, the following three factors will primarily define the type of texture in a given igneous rock or in a given igneous body: the degree of crystallization, the granularity, and the fabric. Okay, so just keep these three terms in your mind, because these three terms, they will become the basis of the classification of texture of igneous rocks. Okay, granularity, fabric, and the degree of crystallization, these three factors will become the basis of igneous rocks textures classification. Okay, so correct option here is option A. Okay, wind condition, that has nothing to do with the texture. Next question is the degree of crystallization where the constituents are very fine or glassy are known as. So holocrystalline, holohaline, homohaline, or the homocrystalline. So the texture of igneous rocks, that has been divided or classified on several bases, and that one basis is degree of crystallization. So on the basis of the degree of crystallization, the texture has been defined into following groups, three following important groups, that is the holocrystalline texture, the holohaline texture, and the mesocrystalline texture. Okay, so these three are very important textures depending upon the degree of crystallization. So now we come back to our question: the degree of crystallization where the constituents are very fine or glassy in nature is known as. So we can answer this question when only when we know the definition of the textures. So if we talk about the holocrystalline texture, so holocrystalline means when a rock is made up entirely of crystals, means there is no glass in that rock. Okay, so entirely made up of or constituent of crystals, its texture is described as holocrystalline. Okay, so wholly composed of crystals, so that's why it's known as holocrystalline. And holohaline, when the rock is composed entirely of glassy material, so that texture is known as holohaline texture. And mesocrystalline means when a rock is composed partly of crystals and partly of glass, then it's known as mesocrystalline texture. So now you can easily answer this question, that is option B. This is the right answer. The holocrystalline is the term used when all the constituents are very fine in size and glassy or non-crystalline in nature. Okay, so if the material is completely glassy in nature, then that texture will be called as holohaline. And if the rock is completely made up of crystals, then that texture will be known as holocrystalline texture. Okay, so here correct option is holohaline texture. Okay, option B. Next question deals with the what is the term used when constituents are crystallized completely. So we have already talked, that is, you can answer it out, that is holocrystalline. Option you can see the same options are there: holocrystalline, holohaline, homohaline, or the homocrystalline. So holocrystalline, that is the texture the term used when all the constituent minerals are distinctly crystalline in nature or completely crystallized. Okay, so correct option here is option A, holocrystalline texture. Next one is, what is the range of grain size for the coarse grained igneous rocks? Okay, so now this is another very important classification of texture based on the grain size. Okay, the size of the grains. So this texture the classification of this texture, that has been done on the basis of the size of the grain, or we can say them granularity. Okay, so above 5 millimeter, above 2 millimeter, below 2 millimeter, or below 5 millimeter. So when the average grain size is above 5 millimeter, the constituent minerals are then easily identified with naked eye, and these rocks are termed as coarse grained rock. Okay, so if the grain size is greater than 5 millimeter or above 5 millimeter, then these size is known as coarse grained in size. Okay, and if the grain size is 1 millimeter to 5 millimeter range, then these grains are known as medium sized grains, and if the grain size is less than 1 millimeter, then they are known as fine grained average diameter. Okay, so fine grain size. Okay, so here correct option is option C. Sixth one is dealing with the grain size 5 millimeter to 1 millimeter is termed as coarse grained, fine grained, intermediate grain size, or the medium grained. So as we have discussed previously, that is the grain size in range of 1 millimeter to 5 millimeter, that is known as medium grain size, and same is written in the description box. As you can see, when the average grain size that lies between 5 to 1 millimeter, that is termed as medium grain texture or the medium grain size. The use of the magnifying lens that often becomes necessary for the identification of all the constituent mineral components. Okay, so here option D, medium grain size, that is the correct option. Next one is the grain size involving use of microscope is coarse grain, medium grain, fine grain, or the very coarse grain. So you can easily pinpoint, that is when the average grain size that is less than 1 millimeter, that is known as fine grain size. And for the identification of this grain size, we need to use the microscope, because this grain size is so fine that you cannot identify it with the naked eye. You will have to take the aid of microscope. In such rock types, the identification of the constituent mineral grains, that is possible only when with the help of the microscope, for which very thin rock section have to be prepared. Okay, so under the microscope we will have to make the thin section of that grains, then we can see it under the microscope. Okay, with the naked eye we cannot identify the grain size because it's too fine. Okay, so here correct option is option C, fine grain size. Next one is, what is the term given when some granules are exceptionally large and few are small? The term given for some granules when they are exceptionally large and few are small: mixed granular, equigranular, inequigranular, or the unequigranular. So the texture is termed as equigranular. So there are two textures, equigranular and inequigranular. Okay, so The texture is termed as equigranular when all the components minerals they are of approximately equal dimensions. And inequigranular means when the sum of the minerals in the rocks are exceptionally large or smaller than the others. Okay, so the average grain size that is not same. Some of the grains they will be larger in size and few of the grains will be finer in size. But in case of equigranular, all the grain size, the size of all the grains that will be equal in size more or less. Okay, so now you can identify the correct option, that is in equigranular. Option C is the right answer. Next question is pick the wrong statement about granitic texture. Okay, so you have to pinpoint the wrong statement about the granitic texture. So there are four statements given here. The constituents are coarse grained, the constituents are medium grained, the crystal shows euhedral to subhedral outlines, or the rock is microgranular in nature. Okay, so four options are there. Sorry. So in the granitic texture, the constituents minerals they are either all of them are coarse grained or all medium grained. Okay, so condition is either they will be coarser in nature, coarse grained, or they will be all grains they will be medium in size, and the crystals they show euhedral to subhedral outline. Okay, so that is the condition for the formation of granitic texture, that is some of the grains they will be either all the grains will be coarser in size or all the grains will be medium grained in size, and the crystals they will show euhedral to subhedral outlines. Okay, so that is the correct option here is option D, that the question was to pick the wrong statement about granitic texture. Okay, so the option A, B, C, first three options these are right, but the option D, that is the rock is microgranular, that is wrong option. Okay, so as you can identify from the description. Next question is the number of equigranular textures are, means how many types of equigranular textures are there. So 1, 2, 3 or 4. So all those textures in which the majority of the constituent crystals of the rock they are broadly equal in size, they are described as equigranular texture, as we have already discussed. And there are three important types, that is the granitic texture, felsitic texture and orthophyritic texture. Okay, so there are three classification or three types of equigranular texture. Okay, so you can easily pinpoint these three options. From the options you can answer it out. Okay, so the correct option there is option B. Okay, so this was our discussion about some other very important questions related to texture and structure, especially texture of the igneous rocks, means the granularity, the equigranular or the non-equigranular texture. Okay, and in the next video we will talk about some other important questions related to igneous textures or the structures. Okay, thank you.